I mean, it also you can get the crinkle fry flavor.
I mean, I like the crinkle fries.
So I'm curious how much this shit is.
Ooh, look, that's you.
Oh, guys. Oh, guys.
I
don't consent.
As we were saying in the pre-show, I like the crinkle fries.
Yeah, but Arby's crinkle fries, they make me sick.
Arby's crinkle fries make you sick?
Yeah, the flavors.
Oh, wait, not crinkle fries. I like Arby's curly fries.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Okay, Arby's fries, the last time I had them, like, you know how fast food makes you nauseous sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that made me nauseous.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so crinkle fries is just like a regular fry, but it's got like
the little wavies.
The wavies in it, yeah. I mean, I don't like those. They feel like frozen fries to me. But curly fries?
Homemade curly fries are really nice.
But the question is would vodka be good tasting like that?
What are you mixing it with? Like a Coke?
Well, I mean, made with potato. I mean, you would mix it with your Frosty. That's what you would do. Like dipping your fry in a Frosty.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, you would have to. You have to go across the. You have to cross the picket line of.
You can make
fast
a milkshake.
Food?
Make a milkshake with it.
Yeah.
Instead of bourbon, like in your milkshake, you have that.
It's still gonna taste like a potato, though, right?
Yeah, but you have that playful, the vanilla to go with it.
I guess. Why are they doing this?
I'd be curious to try that. It's probably going to be like $50 a bottle, and I'm not paying that for curly fry fucking whiskey or vodka.
Yeah, no. Why are they doing it? Does it say? Is there a reason, or is this just some cheesy promotional thing?
I mean, it's Arby's.
Yeah. They are doing a lot of weird stuff.
I mean, the Arby's Twitter account is its own thing.
Oh my God. We're going to have another week of this cat.
Let's see if I can hear him.
Losing his mind. Yeah. Yeah. No, you could definitely. So you got to go do that. While I sit here and prepare, because we're already live.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But better that we deal with this now than fucking have the cat meowing the entire show. So this is what happens when you watch the live YouTube show. You get all this extra stuff that you don't get on the more professional audio version of the podcast, which you can get through Spotify and coming soon to Amazon Podcasts and Facebook Podcasts. That expansion is happening very soon.
If he comes back,
yeah,
is not my fault.
Well, what happened?
Well, I shut the door. So I'm saying,
okay, good.
If he comes back, somebody
open the door. Well, so let's begin.
The door. You opened it. We came.
We came. Oh. All right, here we go. We're not going to do an intro this week. We're just going to start. It's the Culture Smash Cast, episode 584 for November the 3rd, 2020. What is that the date? That's not the date. What's the date?
It's the 10th.
Okay, good. This is a great thing about editing. I forgot to change the date in the script, and this is a long history. You said it's the 10th?
Yeah.
All right, let me just type it in, even though I should
be really tiny in there.
Big enough for me to see.
Okay.
All right, here we go. It's the Culture Smash Cast, episode 584 for November the 10th, 2021. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of CultureSmash.tv.
I'm Zach Martin. I'm
the dumbass of Culture Smash.
Look, I've been playing Celeste recently. I've lost my sanity.
And you died 1,000 times.
So far. I still have one level left.
I mean, is this some kind of like... Is this like some kind of like free, like one of those like indie games or something? I don't know anything about this game.
Okay.
Except that you sent me some video of you dying.
So Celeste is like a gorgeous 2D pixel platformer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically two mechanics, a run, a jump, and a dash. And it's all these puzzles of you're climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
And characters and plot and stuff that goes on, and boy oh boy, it's brutally difficult. Like
I don't have time for that.
I'm shocked I have made it this far. The second to last level there's a boss fight. There's a boss fight in almost every level, but there's a boss fight, and you have to do something 55 times before the boss fight's over. And the boss moves into new areas. Yeah. And if you like, so say for instance, you jump down into an area and you get to, you know, the end of the area, but you die right before the end. Well, back to the beginning of that little area and do the whole thing again. Not the whole section, but just that little area. And let me tell you, there were so many times to where it's like, I'm doing it. I'm finally going to get it. No, I was there. Like full on mental breakdown.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing
that. Our friend
that.
of the show, Dalton, was watching and listening, and he was a little worried for me at some points because I started sweating and rocking back and forth and screaming.
Why do you do this to yourself, though?
At this point, it's like, I've done this much of the game. It's a good game. It's beautiful. It's great. It's just like, look, sometimes if a lady decides to crush my balls, I'll know that's going to be easier than playing Celeste. And this is the normal difficulty. There are 2 harder difficulties for this game.
No.
Fuck that.
No.
I just want to get to the end of the game, please.
I promise. We're going to get to movies in just a second. So
anyway, I am a dangerous mute lunatic, I guess you could say.
So what have you heard since it finally officially came out about Back for Blood? Because I've seen a few positive reviews of it since it fully released, and I just don't know. I want that game to be good, but I don't know.
Yeah, so the people who I've heard say good things about it were saying good things about it in the beta. And the people who don't like it didn't like it in the beta either.
Yeah.
So I haven't tried the official release, but I'm really doubtful. They shook up the entire mechanics of the game 2 weeks before release.
I mean, the big things that I heard were an issue was like rubber banding, and then zombies being able to kill you from 15 feet away, stuff like that. I really wanted this game to be.
Yeah, that was a thing I remember. It's like a zombie would be able to hit you, and you're like, I'm 10 feet away from you.
How did you do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I guess beta feeling issues where you go through walls and stuff. I mean, and that stuff I think you can fix. But I want that group co-op experience, and I just wanted it to be good. I don't know.
There was a review from Yahtzee of Zero Punctuation. He said it best. From my point of view, he says, the point is, if Left 4 Dead has any subtlety at all, it's with giant screaming zombie hordes and a big fat dudes is weaponized bulimia, then Back 4 Blood excises it. It's more interested in throwing endless parades of special zombies at you than in building Left 4 Dead's characteristic peaks and valleys where the game would pull out the bum dildo for just a few moments to let you get your breath back and appreciate the times when it isn't buggering you with senselessness. Without that, Back 4 Blood is just a stream of noise, and I struggle to remember any standout moments from it.
That's a shame.
And that is Back 4 Blood for me. It's just noise. It's just firing and reloading and just constant hordes of zombies.
Yeah, see, you got to have like those smaller moments where there's maybe only 1 or 2 zombies in there, but they scare the shit out of you, and it kind of builds atmosphere.
It's the thing when we go to haunts, to where if you have actors all the time, it's just noise. You have to have moments where it's like no actors in this area to build up the tension of when there are.
Yeah,
and that's what Back 4 Blood was for me. It was just, it's like, there's
you played the beta.
Yeah, I played the beta.
Yeah,
and for like an hour, and our gaming group was like, y'all want to play any more? And I went, no, I really would rather not. See, I'd rather do anything else.
This is what is annoying for me, is because we're still playing Dead by Daylight,
and Dead by Daylight's great,
and it's great. But I want something else that's like that, and I was hoping Back 4 Blood would be that thing, and it's just not.
I mean, if you got Game Pass, throw it on. If you like it, you like it. And if you don't,
well, the thing is, it doesn't matter. Like, for example, it doesn't matter if I like it, because I'm not going to like it unless at least 3 other friends like it too, because that's what that game is.
Yes.
The only redeeming factor.
And you're going to have to get used to the trading card system,
which some people are saying is good. I think it's kind of stupid.
I hate it. I hate that idea of it. It's like the idea of okay, we're gonna have trading card system in our game as power-ups. Fundamentally, just before I've even tested it out, I hate it. Because
Tell me how you really feel.
That just screams to me microtransactions. Hey, booster pack.
It's not
99 cents.
Yeah, it's not
pack.
there yet, but you do feel it coming.
I feel it.
Like, yeah.
And
then it becomes like, back in the old days when I used to play collectible card games, it becomes a rich man's game.
Yes. I've unlocked this card. It's like, well, how do I unlock it? Grind. And hope that you get it unlocked. And I just go, no thanks.
Yeah.
I used to be that guy to where I'm like, okay, well, I'll grind for 10 hours and hopefully I'll get it. Not anymore. If
there's a little bit.
You can't do it.
There's a tiny little bit of that element in Dead by Daylight, but it's pretty easily avoidable. I mean, they don't make it so bad.
No, I mean, Dead by Daylight is, are there perks that help you? Yes. But if you took all perks away, you would still be able to play the game.
Yeah.
It would be painful, but you could still
It would be very painful.
Because every survivor still has these perks that are unlocked by default. So if you took those away,
yeah.
That's not funny.
Well, and they do sell, like, I guess, what is it, monthly? They have 4 perks that you can buy. And they change them out.
It's like every 2 weeks.
Something like that.
Built up enough points by playing, you can spend it on that.
Spend the points on it.
I've done before.
I've done it before too. But from what I've seen, the perks that they put out that way are actually perks from other characters.
Yes, it's common perks.
So you could choose to just play the other character and get to those perks. And it is grinding, but it's not really grinding because you're playing with friends. It's not like doing the same thing
campaign
over and over again until you build up stuff. Yeah.
And that's the problem with Back 4 Blood for me. It was just not good. It was just not ready for prime time.
So disappointed because I loved Left 4 Dead. I loved it.
And it's not like, oh, we'll put it in the oven for 2 more minutes. It's like, no. We need to go back in the oven, and cook it. Not just put it in the oven, but we actually need to turn the oven on. That's what I'm saying is it's not cooked.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of work in order to get me back.
Well,
so I'll check in a few years to.
And it's just another thing. Like I just saw that Cyberpunk still hasn't gotten.
Dude, it's been a year.
It still hasn't gotten the upgrades that were promised. It hasn't gotten the Xbox Series X upgrade that they were supposed to put out last year, and it's. I'm glad I returned that game and got my full money. I mean,
in the long term, you made that right call.
Yeah, I can play that game again in a year or two and get it used for like $12.
That's what I'm thinking is by the time they add everything they promised, I mean, it'll be finally to my price range that I can pick it up.
And it'll play well, hopefully.
And it'll be optimized.
Yeah, hopefully.
I wish more games would be like id, to where when they come out, like when id comes out with the game, runs like freaking butter, man. Like Doom Eternal, day 1 was a lovely experience outside of the gameplay. Like running it on a PC, beautiful, great, lovely. Why can't more games be like this?
Well, and it's even worse on a console. Because on a console, the whole advantage to a console is to not have buggy shit. And not have to deal with drivers or deal with any issues. I know you didn't, but that's what I'm saying. That's one. If you have to deal with weird issues with a game on a console, then what's the purpose? What's the advantage?
Nowadays on a PC, if it'll do it automatically for you. Essentially, okay, so there's an old game I want to play, and I download it, and it goes, oh hey, this is the first time we've run this game. Let's download this sort of thing. Let's go ahead and install it. And it says first time setup, and after a minute, it launches. Yeah. There's no like, I gotta go find the right thing. No. It's like, I want to play the game. Oh, we've noticed this isn't on your computer. Let me download this real quick before we play. And it's like literally a minute.
Okay. Well, thank God for that.
So it's similar to console stuff to where it's like the first time you boot it up, it's probably going to have some like, oh, we need day 1 patches or something to install. But after that.
All right. So you know what else is good?
I love this podcast because it is primarily about movies and TV. We start off with games.
Talking about video games. This is what happens. This is what happens when the 2 of us are left here on our own.
Yes.
This is what happens.
Because everybody else would be tuning out.
They would be. I would be looking around and
let's get
Zach, we should probably move on because no one else is participating. So if you need a caffeine fix, my recommendation is to check out Skinny Mixes because they make all your coffee better. We want to say special thanks to them for supporting our show. What they are is coffee syrups and cocktail flavorings, 0 calories, and 0 to 2 carbs, 0 sugar also. Head on over to skinnymixes.com and put in the promo code CultureSmash for 50% discount on your order. My favorites for coffee are the mocha and the salted caramel, and I like the margarita mix for cocktails, but they have a shit ton over there to try. Go over and check it out. Let's talk about the box office from last weekend. We're going to talk about a few of these movies today. Number 10 was Last Night in Soho. It made 1.8 million, made 7.6 so far.
Oof, that fell.
It sure did. Number 9 is Antlers.
I mean, that just shows to me that the word of mouth got out.
Yeah, and people didn't think it was that great.
I mean, yeah, it started out at number 7, which, damn, it's on point for Edgar Wright. Always starting out at like number 7, number 8, but well, if word of mouth was good, that would be higher. And oops. Oops.
So
sorry, you were saying
Antlers, number 9. It made 1.9 million. It's made 7.5 so far, which is probably about right, even pre-COVID for that movie. Honestly, this is like a $10-15 million movie. Number 8 is Spencer. It made $2 million for its opening weekend, and that's probably about right for that one, to be honest.
$40 down the drain. Oh wait, sorry, spoilers.
Number 7 is Halloween Kills. That made 2.3 million. It's made 89.6 million so far. Number 6 is The French Dispatch. That one made 2.5 million. It's made 8.4 so far. Number 5 is Ron's Gone Wrong. It made 3.5 million. It's made 17.5 in total. Number 4 is Venom, Let There Be Carnage. That one made another 4.4 million. It's made 197 million so far.
6 weeks.
It's crazy.
It just kills me that it's like
second highest grossing movie of the year so far. Yep.
I would have not picked that one.
I would not have picked that either. Number 3 is No Time to Die. It made $6 million. It's made 143 million so far. Number 2 is Dune. It made another 7.7 million. It has made 84 million so far. And opening new over the weekend was Eternals. It had a $71 million opening, which is okay.
Well, that's considering that Venom made 90,
yeah,
it's a little bit like,
yeah.
You know, it's not no reason to say like bomb or anything like that, but it's just
no, it's not a bomb.
It's interesting to look at it and go, why was Venom so high?
I think literally it was timing on Venom. I think it just came out at the right time. People were ready, you know, because I'm going to talk about Venom in a minute.
All right.
Opening this weekend, there's really only one major opening, and that is Clifford the Big Red Dog at 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. And you got Belfast, which says it's a major opening, but feels like an indie movie, right?
Yeah.
87% on Rotten Tomatoes for that one.
I'm going to boycott that film. Sorry.
Why is that?
Well, it's because the director, Kenneth Branagh, he made a film and he put his name on that film. And that film was called Artemis Fowl.
You loved it. That was your favorite film.
I loved it. I loved it so hard that I watched it twice.
You did this to yourself.
It is truly one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. The fact that he had the balls to put his name on it.
Well, and that was one of those early dump to Disney Plus movies.
No, like
wasn't it? It didn't come to theaters.
Yeah, it didn't come to theaters. This was height of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Disney wasn't like, oh, let's bump this one like they did with some of their other titles. They went, fuck this, just dump it.
Dump it.
Premium access, fuck that. Just put it up for free. Get it off of our
somebody watches
they
it.
Disney put the name on it, dude. Like, they need like a scrape to get it off. They need to get like a steel scraper to get their shit off of it. That's what surprised me most about that movie. I'm like, they put the fucking names on it.
Well, I can't boycott him because of that, but I don't know anything about Belfast, so we'll just have to see.
Oh, what happened to Death on the Nile?
What about it?
Oh, I mean, he made that.
I didn't see it.
Oh, you know why? It's because you remember last year we were seeing trailers for it. Maybe one day it'll get released.
Yeah, well, maybe between now, I remember, maybe before it gets released, they'll fix that CGI.
I was about to say, hopefully that CGI gets fixed because
it looked like shit. Yeah, it looked terrible. All right, so let's talk about AMC real quick, because you got so upset the other day because AMC came out with their earnings update and it was positive. They're doing well.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Continue.
And you immediately messaged me because what happened when they announced, hey, we're doing pretty good.
The fucking stock price went down.
It dropped. Yeah.
Which, full disclosure,
Yeah.
I own stock at AMC.
Yeah.
Diamond hands. Been holding since January.
Yeah.
I'm really not expecting it to go to like a ton. But hey, I am in profit, so woohoo.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. It's just really odd. It's just really odd that all the meme stocks, which includes GME, AMC, Bed Bath and Beyond, BlackBerry, they all move together.
Yeah.
And this stock report comes out and, it's like, oh, it's good. We did great. We beat our fucking results. And the price like tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of any other stock?
I don't, but I think
like
it's
that?
I think it's because the people that are playing with these stocks don't know what the hell they're doing. And they're like, oh, it's good news. Let's sell while we can.
Why?
Which is the opposite of really...
Everyone I know that talks about AMC is holding or hodling.
Mm-hmm.
They're not selling. So
Yeah.
who is selling?
The people that don't talk about it, that are just watching. The majority.
I mean, at this point, it's like, why would you, I don't know. I mean, especially when it's like, it hit $45.
Yeah.
It hit 45.
And you told me it was going
to hear their earnings report. It's good.
You told me it was going to hit 52 today.
First off, I believe you can eat a very hairy dick.
I'm good.
Because right now it's at 30 goddamn 7.
I know. I saw. I told you it was
fucking saw that. And I told you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Steven. You asshole. You're like, see you at 31. It's like, don't do this to me. Continue.
So AMC made a big announcement yesterday, or day before yesterday, I believe it was, that now they're going to be selling their popcorn in kiosks and in grocery stores.
Fucking finally.
Is it that good? I mean, it's
what I'm saying is, you were saying this during the pandemic. Why don't theater owners just like open and sell popcorn?
Because there were some indie theaters across the country that were doing that. They were having drive-by popcorn.
Yes.
I think this is a pretty cool move on their part, especially in the grocery stores. I don't really understand these kiosks or whatever that they're going to do in the mall.
I mean, I just assume it's kind of like a vending machine.
Yeah. I
mean, and sometimes, hey, I want some popcorn.
Mm-hmm. But in the store,
I'm more likely to eat popcorn in a mall than I am in a movie theater. Sorry, I don't want a noisy thing.
Oh, that's when I want movie theater popcorn, is in the theater.
I get it. It's just not for me. I prefer some quiet foods.
But now I do think it's kind of fun. Like, I think what they're hoping to trade on is if people are going to watch movies at home and they want to theme it out, then they buy the AMC bucket and bring it home and pop it and whatever. Because the packaging looked like AMC movie theater buckets. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of cool if they can supplement and then get a piece of the home, like however they get a piece of the movies at home. That's pretty. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's like one of the smartest things they've done. And what happens? The stock drops.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're gonna do this great idea. Fucking stock drops. Plummets. What the? I just want to know why. You have your theory. I have my theory. I just want to know the fucking truth.
I would love to hear someone say the truth so we could just know.
First, we just settle this debate. And I mean, it was nice the other day when I went to an AMC and I'm like, well, shit, I'm a stockholder. KJ, you want some popcorn? Because if you're a stockholder, I don't know if they require verification. I can prove it, but they're like, you get a free large popcorn.
Yeah. Is that still going?
That's still going. They actually renewed it. It's like you can get another one. Oh. Technically, I could get 2, I think, or it's just 1. But it was too close to dinner.
I'll never get it.
But it was nice to just be like, you want some popcorn?
Because I'm not going to an AMC because I have my Regal.
Okay, can we talk about prices?
Sure. Because Zach, you went down a rabbit hole of costs the other day on movie theater costs.
Yeah, full disclosure, I noticed that our house up their ticket prices by like 50 cents.
Yeah.
Which made me go, ow. Because like 5 years ago, it was like $2 less.
Yeah,
Which
it's creeping up.
I mean, $2 over just 4 or 5 years is.
It's still only $8 or what?
I know, but it used to be $6.25.
I know.
And considering last year it was $7, now it's $8. It's like every year it's going to go up $1.
I hope not, because there's that $10 threshold that I have, that if it crosses $10, I won't be a member anymore. Well, because what's the point?
You're still saving money, but it feels like I used to be able to like, oh, let's go 2, 3, 4 movies, and it's like $20, and now it's like, man, I'm at 2 movies and it's $16. And now I'm looking at the unlimited ones, whether it be AMC or Regal, and going, this just got a whole lot more nice looking, because our Regals range between $12 and $15 a ticket, outside of tax, outside of any extra fees by doing it online.
Yeah, because they charge an extra like 50 cents online, unless you go to Fandango, which I think is even more.
Yeah, and with reserved seating, it's like, well, we have to do this in advance now. So when my girlfriend and I went to a movie this weekend, and we went to an AMC where I don't have their pass.
Yeah, why did you go to AMC?
She wanted to go out in that area.
Oh, that's right. She wanted food or something in that area.
Totally fine. Yeah. Plus, I haven't been to that AMC in forever, so it's like, sure. Holy shit. With the taxes, with the fees, with the processing and everything, it was $20 a ticket for a 4 p.m. regular screening film. That's IMAX ticket prices.
Yeah,
it was $40 for 2 people.
In a regular screening?
A regular screening.
Shit, that's expensive.
I mean,
no wonder people don't want to go to the movies.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
That's way too expensive, boys.
So you said the same movie at the same time in the same chain in different locations was different prices?
Yes.
So like the 7:00 movie in a Regal theater on one side of town costs more than on the other side of town?
Yes.
What the fuck? Why?
That's why I was so shocked. Because if you go to our Green Hills location, it's the cheapest at $12. But if you go to that same film at the same time in a same regular theater, no extra add-ons, is $15.
Why?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I mean, you
would think it'd be all the same.
Unless you can prove to me that it's a nicer projector or something. I mean, because they do have, do they even do RPX? Is that even a thing anymore?
Yeah, they do RPX, and that is an extra fee. But it's just shocking to me how the price variance is, how fucking expensive it is. And that's before any fees or anything. That's just the Fandango price before their add-ons.
Oh, you guys did this on Fandango.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder. Fandango.
But I compared it to the Regal app.
But yeah, and the Regal app, I think, what is it, 50 cents, 55 cents or something?
Yeah.
Because this is the thing, if you have...
That's what I'm saying. That's the price before their extra add-ons.
Yeah, because the last time I used Fandango was like $2 extra or something. Yeah.
I mean...
This is a funny thing. I've been on this Regal Unlimited plan for so long, I didn't know what a ticket cost.
Yeah. I mean, same here.
Yeah.
And now... I don't blame people with being like, I'm just going to wait for streaming, or I'm just going to wait for DVD, because for $3 more, they could just buy it. I mean, unless you're really trying to push this unlimited system where, okay, now it is, you're getting a fucking deal.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to do. And it's one of those things, I don't know.
But you're going to hurt yourself by doing that. The casual movie theater goer that's like, oh, fuck, I go like once a year. Holy shit, guys, $25 for this ticket?
Okay, so this is probably the argument. If you're only going once or twice a year, paying that premium is a little less of a big deal because you're literally only doing it once or twice a year. If you're that in-between moviegoer that doesn't go every month, but maybe goes 6 or 8 times a year, then it's like, what do I do? What's the right move?
You know how
and the
much
right move
I can
is
make $25 go as a 90-minute movie versus that's a nice fancy meal. I mean, that's a whole day of doing stuff. It's at that point where I'm like,
now I'm the guy.
If I was like that, I'd be like, oh, now I'm going to reconsider going.
Yeah, I'm the guy that tips the scales. I pay the $25 a month, but I'll go and see 3 movies in one fucking day.
Yeah. where you're getting, you can absolutely see you're getting value out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I cry a little bit less, not much less, but a little bit less when I step into a fucking theater and there's a dead pixel on the screen.
That's, especially if you're paying these prices, that is exceedingly unacceptable.
If I paid that much money and there's a dead pixel, I would lose it. It was real funny the other day when I went into the theater and there was a smudge on the glass between the projector and, you know, and I had to go say something to him, and you could see, like, when I went back in, the hand came up on the screen and was wiping it down.
I mean, when we went and saw our film, you know, paying these prices, it was a you know, dine-in movie theater. Essentially you could push a button and they call, and
I'm gonna spend that kind of money. They need to bring me an app.
Oh my god! I mean, I'm like, how much is a burger going to be? $30?
Oh, did you guys actually eat there?
No.
Okay.
But nobody ordered anything. And by the way, that theater charges an upcharge for seeing a movie in one of those screens, which, by the way, the movie we saw was only playing on those screens. So to see the movie Spencer, I had to pay an extra fucking $2 by default.
This just goes back to why, another reason why
that is prefer, unacceptable.
You know, everybody talks about AMC and it's annoying because Regal is a better chain. And I've heard people say negative things about Regal too, but my general experience with Regal is better.
Well, I mean, it's like you're paying this nice money. You're paying your standard money, I guess. But the projection was just, it was there.
Yeah, it wasn't special.
It
wasn't like you were in a Dolby Cinema or anything like that.
No, but it wasn't like, oh man, this is some good projection. I can really tell it's focused in. I can tell the brightness is good. No, it was just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. And now,
so now I don't feel bad paying the $8 for my Arthouse when I know it's going to be laser line focused and bright,
and there's some
audio is going to be properly fucking calibrated.
And there's some nights you pay that $8 and you actually get a 35mm print.
Oh man, that was really good. Well, you get to see a trailer for a film on 35 and go, oh man, this looks really good. like yeah, that same trailer is playing digitally. No, it looks better on film.
It really does. Yep.
I don't know why. Like that trailer looked like, you know how it's like they can color time digitally and they can color time like photochemically. It looks like photochemically.
Yeah.
As opposed to digitally.
Maybe, you know me, I'm funky about color timing.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So anyway,
all right. So before
that was a rabbit hole we went down.
Well, here's another rabbit hole that we've got to go down. But I know some of the movie discussion is going to be a little shorter.
If you're listening in, tell us what your movie ticket prices are.
Exactly. I would love to hear what movie ticket prices are in other states.
Maybe we're complaining and we're on the cheap end. Or
I think we are on the cheap end. I think New York City is still like
20 plus.
Yeah, I think it's a scary place to see movies.
I mean, IMAX is our $20 ticket. Dolby is $20.
I don't have a problem with that though.
4DX is $25. It is not $35 anymore. We just got our holes ripped open for that, but it's still $25 before fees.
If it was in sync, I probably wouldn't have a problem with it.
Well, yeah, you're getting an experience with that.
You get a lot. It's got to be in sync though. I'm just wondering when I'm going to try it again.
If I go and it's out of sync again, and I paid money for it again.
Yep. I know.
I don't know what I'd do.
Anyway.
I don't know what I'd do.
We're actually going to move to TV.
Okay.
For this next discussion. This Friday is, according to Disney, is Disney Plus Day.
Oh, yeah.
It's their 1 year anniversary. They've got a bunch of new content. Disney Jungle Cruise.
It's their 2nd year anniversary.
2nd year anniversary.
I was about to say, please don't say one.
No, second.
Because I know 2020 was a black hole, but please don't say one.
I don't know. I try to write 2020 off so much. So anyway, they've got Jungle Cruise coming out, some other content coming out, but also they announced this big partnership with IMAX.
Finally.
So that you're going to be able to watch a handful of I think it's pretty much all Marvel movies right now in the IMAX format.
So, number one.
Yes.
Okay, number one, fucking finally, I found it really kind of unacceptable that the only way to see these films in their IMAX format is the 3D disc.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well,
not streaming anywhere. Why aren't more streaming services doing this? or having an option. Here's the regular version. Here's the IMAX version. For the people that want to see like Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, and that IMAX aspect ratio, which, by the way, I've seen once and never again.
Yeah, it's not even
when I saw it on 70 millimeter.
It's not even on the 4Ks.
No, why?
That I don't understand. But my question is,
does this require IMAX enhanced TVs? Because let me tell you, your boy's ready for it. Your boy.
But here's my question. In the video, like the teaser, like promotional video for it that I saw, it just showed the gate open on the top and the bottom.
Yes.
But it stayed the same width.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Because like if you look at something like...
Okay, let me ask you, which Marvel film has shot with 70 millimeter IMAX?
I don't know. Which one?
Correct. None of them.
Yeah.
So that means it's a digital...
Yes.
It's open matte is what it is.
Well, that's the first thing I thought is this is just opening the gate.
Yes, it is open matte.
And my favorite thing about that is it will be going back and looking at Guardians of the Galaxy and seeing that boom mic in the shot.
I don't remember a boom mic.
There is a boom mic, and there's a shot where like these little creatures are racing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole thing, is in the open gate there you could see a boom mic.
Well, I mean, either they digitally erased it, or I've seen that.
They might have.
I have the open matte version of it.
Well, it's supposed to be in that scene.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I'll pop it in tonight and view it.
Well, look and see. Yeah, let me know. But yeah, I kept thinking about when I saw that, I was thinking about the Snyder Cut.
Well, the Snyder Cut wasn't IMAX aspect ratio. He wanted it for IMAX, but he decided 133 instead of 143, which is IMAX. So it's actually narrower. Though you could show it in 133, it'd be an absolute fucking nightmare, but you could.
Yeah.
But no, that wasn't made for IMAX. Like,
so it's
if we're talking like Dune, which was made for IMAX,
right,
or like Tenet or Dunkirk, where it's like, no,
Christopher Nolan
made for IMAX. Yeah. And in those cases, even on the 4K Blu-rays, they just remove the black bars
so we're just
to go to 178, and it's not even a true 143.
So we're not going. It's still not like a legitimate IMAX presentation, because these weren't shot that way anyway. It's just open gate.
It is the exact same presentation that if you went and saw Black Widow in IMAX, it is if you go and see it at regular theaters, does not expand. If you go and see an IMAX, it does expand.
It's weird that
so those scenes pop. Like how we went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy. It was just certain scenes and it was bigger. It's the same thing here.
I just wonder, though, I've been thinking about it since they made that announcement, why it's only happening now. And I just wonder...
Snyder. I want to say it's because of the Justice League.
Well...
Because nobody complained about it.
I wonder...
And everybody was like, oh,
I saw people complain about it.
The overwhelming majority was like, oh, finally we're seeing it the way...
Well, and also, to Warner's credit, is they did a really... good job in marketing, letting people know this is how it's going to fucking look. Get ready
up there.
When you go in, this is how it's going to look. By the time it actually came out, it had been all over marketing. So they did a good job of that marketing of it. But I wonder if it has something also to do with IMAX licensing or something. Because it's funny that it seems to me like they could have just opened a gate on these and not had to have any involvement from IMAX.
Well, that's the thing, is there was no involvement for IMAX when the 3D versions of these movies came out that did have the open gate versions. And that's why I was very confused, is like, they exist, they're out there. I mean, what's great about it for me is I can put that 3D disc in my computer and watch it in 2D.
Yeah.
But it exists. It's on physical, or most of them. But why has it not been on streaming or an option for streaming? Yeah. And that's what I don't get is, like with Mission Impossible.
And that's why I wonder if it's some kind of agreement with IMAX. That's what I wonder.
Is it some agreement with the director saying, I mean, if it was
I don't think it's a director thing. I think it literally has to do with IMAX, because to me, it would make sense to say, if you want to see it this way, the only fucking way you're seeing it is if you come to our theater. It's a tool. It's a tool, and it works on me. It works. If it's a movie, it really works. So
I mean, am I going to watch these films now, especially now that they have the IMAX expanded one? Yep.
well, here's what I'm annoyed about, and this is where this is a nail.
I don't get why they don't put it on physical.
I was going to say this is a nail in the coffin of physical, because all of a sudden
You're getting that bonus on streaming, but
that I'm not going to get on my disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a problem for me.
And that you don't have that same problem with any Nolan film.
Yeah.
Because they show him properly.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
I don't get why they're doing this.
We'll do it. Just do it on everything. I don't get why it took this long to do it.
Well, you also have to plan this shit in advance, but the majority of this stuff is computer generated anyway.
Yeah, it's all, especially Marvel fucking movies.
Yes.
I mean, they're pretty much moving cartoons at this point anyway.
I mean, it's kind of like on the 4K Blu-ray of No Time to Die, will they have an expanded aspect ratio for the IMAX sequences? They fucking better.
They better. It ain't going to help that movie.
It's not on the digital stream, but they fucking better on the physical.
No, movie's just not going to help.
It's not going to help, but
Yeah.
I expect it there. If it's not there, I'm going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. How are you going to be?
I mean, I'm not going to buy it, but
I was going to say. So
I'm
you may never
not
know.
Fucking watching it again, but
Unless you see it on Reddit, you may never know.
If I see a clip online, it's like better have the expanded aspect ratio, because typically, that's how you should fucking watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell a difference.
So speaking of Marvel,
I'm just happy this is happening. If it requires an IMAX enhanced TV, baby, we ready.
I don't think it's gonna, because it
ridiculous.
It didn't say that.
That'd be a hell of a gate for people to fucking jump through.
It would be,
but I'd be able to jump through it.
Yeah, you happy about that?
I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, I'm curious if it switches over to that mode automatically, like it receives a signal.
The article. Oh, what do you mean?
So I have a mode on my TV. Like you have movie, games, sports.
Oh, if it switches to IMAX mode on the TV.
Yeah, I have an IMAX.
That is a curiosity. TV. I don't know if it's going to do that. I would be interested.
I'd be curious.
It might though. It very well might.
I'd hate it because I hate that color grading. It, but
you'll have to let me know Friday.
Yeah,
because all this stuff happens Friday.
Test it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw the Eternals.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I know that Nico and Tina saw it while they were in Ireland, and I can't gauge from what Nico had to say if he actually liked it or not. He just seemed interested in what it set up. So the Eternals is written and directed by Chloe Zhao. I've been a little bit annoyed at some of like Variety has an article out right now about how they feel the movie's being unfairly portrayed, that it's being attacked because it's, she's a female and, a person of color who wrote and directed this film. And I'm like, I like Chloe Zhao. I fucking loved her movie last year, but this movie's bad.
So whose fault is it?
Hers.
You don't think any of the creative team that
here's
cast it, or is it a writing issue, or is it just everything else issue?
Well, okay, so I'll let you decide. I'll just tell you, because I know you don't care about spoilers because you're not going to watch this movie anyway.
I guess spoilers for Eternals, because I've read them months ago.
Yeah. So the Eternals are these omnipotent beings put on the earth to do one job: to destroy these deviant monsters. Okay, this is the first thing that I had an issue with.
So this is Loki, essentially?
But the monsters, again, we were talking about generic monsters. They have no character, no personality. They're just cannon fodder to be blasted at in CG cutscenes. And this is their job. They are told, and we get this early on because this is the question everybody's asked: if these guys are so omnipotent and so powerful, why didn't they intervene with Thanos? Why didn't they intervene in all of the wars and stuff? Why haven't they done anything? Right? So they handle that right at the beginning of the movie. And they say that we were put here to defend the planet from the deviants. And that's all we were supposed to do. We were supposed to not be involved in things that happen on the earth, right? We're just supposed to kill these monsters.
They've never done it before. They've never questioned it. They've never just gone out of their way.
Hang on.
Okay.
So literally we get that answer, and immediately we cut to a cutscene or a flashback, and we see one of the Eternals showing people in the prehistoric past, showing people how to farm, We have another one entertaining people and showing people music and all this stuff. We have another, every single one of them, right after they said, oh, we were told our job is to do this and we don't interfere. They fucking interfere for the next 30 minutes of the movie. And I'm like, you're breaking your own rules right in front of my fucking face. I lost my shit sitting in the theater. I'm like, you fucking broke your own rules. And okay, if there were repercussions for them doing that, it would be okay. But instead, the movie changes. Like it changes from, hey, we're just supposed to be here to defend against the deviants. 30 minutes in, after we've watched them break their fucking rules, oh, we're supposed to here to guide them and help them because we love them. And I'm like, that's not what you said. That's not what you said at the beginning of the movie that you're supposed to do. You changed it just now. And how that made it through the script writing process, I don't understand.
No, it didn't just make it through the script writing process. It made it through the table read process.
Everything.
It made it through the shooting process, the editing process. It made it through fucking everything.
And I'm like, this is stupid. It's stupid. So, oh, well, now we're supposed to help guide them and we love them and we're going to help them.
Why do you love them?
Because we've lived with them our whole lives.
Okay, so you have Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That broke me because it broke the whole movie. Like the whole movie had no weight anymore because they'd already just fucking broke all their rules, right? And then the deviants, these monsters, mean nothing. Only one of them can speak, and barely, and they do nothing except come up and get killed over and over again.
Wait, so
by the way, the Eternals helped in Babylon, helped them build walls around the city. Yeah.
Wait, okay, so they've never captured one of these demons and been like, where do you come from? Who you work?
Well, we find out later. We find out later.
They've never done that in thousands of years.
We learn later in the movie that the deviants basically were early versions of Eternals that the Eternals creator had made that got away from him and got out of control. So his next round of creation, which is the Eternals, were sent to deal with these things, right?
That seems...
It's convoluted as
really
fuck.
Dumb.
It's convoluted. It's overly convoluted, right? So I have all of this to deal with that's bad. And on top of that, the characters, the actors that they chose, I'm sorry, they suck. They're boring. Angelina Jolie is fun because she's playing somebody who's mentally unstable. And that, I feel like she's playing herself. She's great. She's entertaining. Selma Hayek is charismatic like she always is, but spoilers, they fucking kill her pretty early in the movie.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So it's like, what the fuck? Then the rest of the movie, she's in it, but in flashback. So her character has no bearing anymore. She's in flashback. She doesn't matter. Right? So, and also that means in the future, we're not going to have any more of her because she's fucking dead. And the people that are left living suck. They're boring. I mean, Angelina Jolie can't carry the whole thing.
No, it's fine. Kit Harington's fine. What's his name? Not Jon Snow. The other Stark, Rob Stark. He's not good.
No,
he was good.
Bad.
10 years ago in Game of Thrones.
I swear.
10 years.
I went in wanting to like this movie and they're just not interesting or good. You know? And then character motivations change on a dime. Like one guy is set up to be kind of a villainous guy and he disappears from the movie for a long time. And when he comes back, he's kind of a hero again. And then there's one guy who's set up as a villain or a hero that switches to villain. And that's supposed to be a plot twist, but it's not because it's stupid, right? But at the last minute, he changes his mind back to hero because he loves one of his co-Eternals. There's a sex scene, but also, which is this big deal that they made. Like it's the most awkward looking sex scene you've ever seen. They're like fucking on a rock. And I'm like, that's got to be hurting your back. And it's so short, if you blink, you miss it. It's like, I'm like, why did you even?
It's like 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's like gone. It's not even a sex scene.
It's just to show, hey, they fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean, we saw another movie that has a sex scene like that to just prove like, hey, they fucked. Moving on.
Yeah, that's it.
And that one was done pretty funny.
Yeah, well, this one was supposed to be taken seriously and mean something.
No, that's not how you do this. That's
and
not,
you know, and a lot of people...
If you have to do that, then you can't do a quickie because the joke is that it's a quickie after that.
Yeah.
You know, there's a movie called Rock and Rolla that has a great sex scene in it, to where it's like zip, moan, 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 come, zip, done. Literally that fast, and it's a joke, but it's not meant to show these people are in love with each other.
So let me talk for a minute about the character that everybody over the years has made a big deal about.
Real quick, this actually wasn't directly written by her. She does get a screenplay credit.
Yeah, I saw her name.
However, story is by the Firpo brothers here.
I don't know who that
also
is.
wrote the screenplay, and with another guy named Patrick Burley. So she bears some of the responsibility here, but
not all of it.
Not all.
And also, I can't think of his name now. The guy from Silicon Valley that everybody talks about because he got so buff. Shit, what is it? He's funny actor.
Kamali.
Yeah.
Get a better last name. Sorry.
Yeah. So they made a big deal, like it came out that he's in this big Bollywood sequence, right? And he spent months and months and months learning to do this because he's not a dancer. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, this could be kind of interesting in a Marvel movie to see this big Bollywood dance sequence. He doesn't do anything. He walks through the middle of it and they shoot him from chest up. So you can't see if he's actually dancing or anything. It's just a handful of, really pretty girls that do all of the stuff around him, and then it's over. And then you get introduced to his character. So we've seen this in the trailers. You saw this. I don't mind Marvel movies being funny because it's based on comic books.
Oh, here it comes.
But tonally, it's got to matter. It's got to match.
Yes.
So we get these beings are set up. They're all powerful. They're omnipotent. They're thousands of years old. And then in the next sequence, they're goofy as fuck. And the jokes
that's been the problem with Marvel for years.
The jokes are cringy too, like that IKEA joke that you see in the trailer,
which always lands so flat.
It's even flatter in context. Sometimes a joke can be funnier in context.
Yeah.
Like that licorice pizza joke about the girl when she's showing her boobs and slaps the guy. I hate how they recut that trailer because it's not funny now. But you can tell it's going to be funny in the movie.
Yes.
But this thing, it's full of stuff like that. And that character in particular, he is basically like this powerful dude. He's cowardly and he disappears. He's like, fuck off. I'm not doing this big final battle. I don't want to do it. And then all of a sudden he does. Like he just shows up and does it, like with no explanation whatsoever.
But okay.
Yeah. And then, so this omnipotent Galactus looking dude who made them, right? And it the whole thing comes out is he needs all of the wars and things that happen, including with Thanos, all that stuff that happened on the planet. He needs it to happen because it builds up energy in the fucking planet that he can use to then resurrect a Celestial, which is another godlike character like him, right? And you get a hint of that in the trailer because you hear the Salma Hayek line in the trailer talking about how the Thanos snap brought forth enough, the people coming back brought forth enough energy for the convergence to happen. And that's when this other godlike thing comes to life. So at the end of the movie, they stop it from happening because the Eternals are like, we got to stop it because we love these people, right? So they stop it from happening. And he grabs them at the end and says, you saved these people, blah, blah, from me bringing my godlike Celestial to life. He's like, so okay, you did it, but you will be judged based off your memories, because he's able to track what they do from their own memories, and hauls ass with them off back to his ship, like in a cliffhanger ending. And I'm like, they're gonna, the planet, it sounded like they were going to have a tribunal, which like I'm telling you, it comes off real stupid in the scheme of things. It comes off real stupid. This is why it gets a 3 out of 10 for me. I think it's right there with Thor Ragnarok, although I will say Thor Ragnarok is a better movie than this one. This literally is, I would rather watch.
No, look, they went to real locations.
It doesn't help because it got marveled out. Where it's the same thing that happened with Shang-Chi. There's so much CGI at the end of it. It doesn't matter where they are. You can't tell. It's all CGI'd the shit out.
That's what I suspected.
Yeah, it's so heavily done. Oh, and one girl, the girl from Crazy Rich Asian, she's pretty decent actor, I think, but she just doesn't play well in this movie. I don't think it's her fault. She has this power where she can change like Earth into other things, but randomly she learns at the end of the movie, and for no reason she's able to change like living things. Like she changed one of the deviants into a tree. It's like, oh, I didn't know I had that power. That's literally it. I'm like, oh, isn't that convenient? So you can use that right at the end. That's perfect. Literally, there's no reason for it though, and it's never explained. There you go. Post-credit scenes, they are deep cutting too much. I think they're bringing in the Black Knight, who is a character I thought was kind of stupid in the comic books, because I don't like. We've had this discussion. I don't like characters in comics that use bladed weapons, because in a PG situation, they're not really going to stab anybody. And he uses the Excalibur, the Black Knight. And then they also bring in this character, Star Fox, who's a cosmic character, very smaller character from early comics. You wouldn't know him. You wouldn't.
This is the part I enjoy, where I went, I'm just going to stop after Endgame. And boy, that decision has played out very nicely.
It has, because I've seen all 3 movies this year: Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternals, and Shang-Chi is better than Black Widow, but not by much. And then Eternals is awful. It's awful.
It's been a pretty nice, feeling to go. Looks like I stopped at the right time, boys.
Yeah, it's awful.
I'm not saying, oh, you should have done me. I'm like, well, at least I'm not having to eat this hat.
No, not this time.
Apparently, there is a post press credit sequence with a voice.
Oh, that's part of the Black Knight reveal. The character, Kit Harington, I think, is the one. He's pulling out the.
It's Black Knight.
Yeah, he's about to pull out the Excalibur sword, and you hear Blade's voice in the back. Are you sure you're ready for that? And I'm like, there's no vampires here. What does Blade have to do with this?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like adding Blade into this whole thing is going to.
It was premature. He should have been added into something else.
Well, if you're going to really put in Blade, I'm sorry, all my knowledge of Blade is the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen some of the second one and maybe 30 minutes of the third one.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck are you gonna put that into Marvel? This universe they've made.
Yeah, they're gonna gut that character,
and then you're gonna have to make it PG-13.
Yeah, it's an R-rated character, and that's what's great about him. Yeah,
and I don't know, boy. I like the casting. Apparently, it's Mahershala Ali.
It is.
Love the casting. I just don't think this is going to be
work.
Conducive to that universe.
I've seen a lot of speculation. On a side note, I've seen a lot of speculation that
Multiverse.
Marvel is somehow ending, like the Marvel contract with Spider-Man is ending after this movie. So they're ending the connection with that character in some way in the MCU. And what's interesting about that speculation is having just seen the post-credit scene from Venom.
Well, apparently, I haven't seen that yet, but the new Morbius trailer has like a bunch of fucking Easter eggs in it.
Michael Keaton is in that one also.
And it's all this different, like, it references the MCU, but it's also got all this other shit in it. And it's kind of like, are they going to do, a thing to where, okay, we're going to pluck, what's his fucking name? The guy who plays Spider-Man.
Tom Holland.
Literally out of that universe and put him into something else.
It feels like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because the post-credit scene, have you heard about the post-credit scene from Venom?
I think I read it, but I
have
no memory
so
of it.
Venom is this is spoilers. Venom is on the run at the end of Venom 2, and they're like in Hawaii or something, and they're looking at TV and they see a news report from the previous Spider-Man movie where it's revealed that it's Peter Parker. And Venom gets all crazy. He's like, I gotta see this guy or something. And he licks the TV with that long ass tongue that he's got. So it feels like they're bringing him into the Venom universe, which is something people have talked about for a while.
Jesus.
Which is weird because this new Venom is definitely not as edgy as the first one. So they're working their way back to
Which was
softening
funny
it up.
because apparently they made an R-rated cut and a PG-13 cut, and they decided for the PG-13 one.
Yeah.
Or it was in talks, but it's funny that you say that, and it's like it's nowhere near as edgy as the first one,
Mm-hmm.
which the first one wasn't edgy to begin with.
No, I mean, well, in comparison, it's no Deadpool. So Venom's been out for a while, so I won't talk too much about it except to say that it's more of the same as the first one. There's some pretty funny jokes in it. There's one, and then literally there's one big fight scene, and that's it. I mean,
oh wow, it's literally one fight scene.
I mean, pretty much, it's one big fight scene. There's some little things that happen here and there, but there's basically one big end scene, and that's kind of the way the first one was too. I expected this one to be a little better. It wasn't. It wasn't worse. It was more the same. It was total disposable cotton candy stuff that I'll never have to see again. Which is why also it was a 3 out of 10 for me. So that was not the best day of movies.
Damn.
Yeah. Now, I also saw Spencer.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Which
so I also saw Spencer.
Spencer. So Spencer has Kristen Stewart in it.
What's it about?
It's about a period of time from Princess Diana's life. Now, what I love about that movie, this is spoilers again.
Okay. Before we get into spoilers, what's your general thoughts on Spencer? Like a number.
8 out of 10.
4.5 out of 10.
Fuck you.
Okay, so now that all the people have left, let's get into some motherfucking spoilers for Spencer.
So, Spencer had all the makings of a movie I don't give a shit about.
And by the way, everyone else I know that has seen this movie has also liked it, so I could be in the minority. And that's just fine.
Feel like you need to see it again, honestly.
I mean, maybe I do, but
because it has all the things that I don't like. I just saw it because of all the hype. It has Kristen Stewart, for one, who I don't like, generally. She has done, back in the old days of her, when she would do indie movies, a couple of things were okay, but they weren't made better because of her.
No.
It
was never because of her acting. She was just a face.
And she was fine.
And then Twilight came out and she was a block of wood. But I mean,
and then a lot of things after that came out and she was a block of wood.
Yes, she's still
a block of wood.
Very woody.
So it had her in it. It had, it's a story about Princess Diana, who sorry if you're into the British royalty shit. I don't give a fuck. Never did
know anything about her, or she was a royal, or she was about to be a royal. She married into it. Everybody loved her, and then she fucking died. Well, that's all I know.
And you don't really need to know much of anything going into this movie. I mean, from somebody who grew up in the era and does know.
It would certainly help.
I don't think so.
KJ was able to fill me in on some shit that actually put into context, the film. And I was like, oh, okay, that's why that was happening.
So also, this is directed by the guy who directed Jackie, another movie I don't give a fuck about, and I haven't watched.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's sort of the same kind of movie about Jackie Onassis. So what I love about this film, though,
the cinematography.
Well, the cinematography is
holy
gorgeous.
Shit, stunning.
It is gorgeous, and it's fine at the beginning. It's good, and then you have that fucking shot where she's running across that field to the fucking scarecrow, and I'm like ready to stand up in front of my seat and applaud because I'm like, fuck yeah, this is beautiful,
dude. That shot of it's like it must have been a drone, but it's this going over the estate.
Mm-hmm.
As the title appears, I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
That is gorgeous.
So I thought going in that this was going to be kind of biopic-ish and we were going to have to see the life of Princess Diana.
Here we go.
So I was not so much into that. I know, like I said, it's not anything I give a fuck about, but I grew up in a lot of that era. I was a little kid. So I do remember a lot of it. Like a lot of her life and what happened to her and all that stuff. And I was seeing it because there's Oscar hype. That's it. I was like,
that's literally the only reason I was interested.
And then the very first line that comes up basically says to you, this is a fable.
This is a fable. It's not meant to be treated as fact.
And I compared it to almost like in a less dreamlike way, but kind of the same thing as like when you watch Titanic.
Mhm.
Titanic is a real thing that happened. These are real situations, but these characters were not real.
Yes.
Now, in this movie, all the characters are real, and the situation did happen, but the way it's interpreted is left up to the creative vices of the director,
which I'm totally fine with.
I am 100% fine with.
In fact, I didn't expect that, so I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's part of why it gets such a good score for me, is because I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Way to surprise me. The first 10
that
minutes
doesn't in fact affect my score.
It does me, because you gave me something I didn't anticipate, and I love that because it doesn't happen.
Oh boy, let me tell you about something I didn't anticipate, was that trailer being false fucking advertisement. But
well, and in what way do you think it was false advertisement? I mean, I don't know that it was false advertisement.
It sold it, like you said, as like a biopic. Or
but looking
like,
back, I don't think it did. I think it just showed you scenes from the movie is all it did, and showed you.
It didn't show me the
review quotes.
existential horror that, essentially it was, or psychological thriller it was.
I mean, there were moments of that, and there was a lot of surrealism.
Yes.
Both overt and subtle. Overt and subtle to me, because when you think about a royal, somebody who is a princess, in the same building, same home as the queen, she doesn't spend that much time alone. There's no way. There's just no fucking way. So in those sequences where she's by herself so much, I mean, for me, my interpretation is that is where she was emotionally and mentally. Even if, because there's going to be people fucking around. I mean, there's times where she's like a little bit late for stuff. The reality is she's a lot late for it. And there's no one until one guy shows up. That's not how it's going to work. I think there's so much symbolism in this movie.
And I didn't get any of that symbolism.
Oh my gosh.
To me, this film is rich people having to complain about small shit. And I'm sorry, but there's a scene where it's essentially the whole plot takes over a course of like, what, 2 days?
A couple of days, right? It's Christmas and unboxing.
Yeah. And I mean, because Christmas Eve is just the dinner.
Yeah.
So it's basically, I have to put up with being around these people and doing this stuff for 2 days. And it's like, then fucking swallow your food and deal with it. Like, what is the problem, lady? Like, I just looked at it and went, she's really having to complain about putting on this clothes.
See,
I get the symbology of it. I get it. But on a surface level, I'm like, you are.
If you're only experiencing this movie on a surface level, you're not giving it fair treatment, though.
No, I understand the symbology of she wasn't going to be put into, this kind of, she wants her freedom. I get that. But on a realistic look at it, I go, you are a horrible human being that cannot just smile for half a minute.
All right, so let me respond to that.
Yes.
So, on a strictly realistic
we're going to get
look,
into this, ladies and gentlemen.
On a strictly realistic look. Okay,
yes.
So if we're
taking
not
the film at face value outside of those sequences where she's
I don't think you can take the film at face value without actually experiencing it. But if we are going to like pretend that there's no symbolism happening outside or no metaphor happening, then okay, she has to spend the weekend with a family, with a guy she's married to who she knows is fucking around on her, Is he? My God! Yeah, we see his fucking bitch that he's fucking in one of the scenes.
See, here's the thing. I don't know any of that.
She says it.
She suspects it.
No, but she says it.
I don't know who this lady they're talking about is. So when they show a lady looking at him, I'm like, is that supposed to be her?
Well, and then she has an informant basically let her know, hey, those pearls that he gave them to her too, and you gotta fucking wear them all weekend like a fucking pearl necklace, like he just shot a fucking load in your face, and you gotta eat it up. You gotta sit there and eat it with his fucking family, and you can't see how that would make somebody miserable.
I understand.
All of a sudden, the little things mean more when you think, well, is my husband out there getting a blowjob today from another bitch? Probably. Yeah, probably so. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
I mean, they only have one scene together, basically.
Yeah, and that says something even more. She's got to pretend to be the loving wife and the princess while he's out there getting, probably butt fucking this other bitch.
Yeah, and here's the thing. When you typically marry into this shit, that kind of comes with the territory.
No,
I'm sorry. Was that not in the small fucking print of I'm going to have to look nice and I'm going to have to probably be a shut-in because people are going to be looking for me. And
yeah,
I'm
but getting cheated on and half the world fucking knowing about it.
She reads about Anne Boleyn. Oh my God, I get it. She realizes this is happening as well.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole fucking family
and then at one time, do this. In the conversation she actually gets to have with him, he defends himself by saying, it's got to be, you got to be two different people. So one of his people is to go fuck somebody else.
Sometimes I have to go and do some shit I don't want to do, and guess what I got to do? I got to put on a mask.
This is not surprising. This is how you are. You're like, oh, it's rich people being babies.
Yeah, that's a rich person being like, I like simple things like fast food and simple clothes while I drive a fucking Porsche.
But that's not what it means. That
it rings hollow.
It does not fucking ring hollow.
So hollow. I'm like, you drive a fucking Porsche and you're complaining about, I just want simple life. Fuck you. You drive a Porsche.
But that's not what she's asking for. She don't give a fuck about fast food. Look at her. She's bulimic. Or she's anorexic.
Yeah. She's
anorexic. Well, whatever. So the fast.
I thought she was nervous at first.
When you're looking
and then it was only after KJ was like, oh yeah, she had like eating problems. I'm like, I didn't fucking know that.
You didn't have to know it. I didn't remember it until I saw it in the movie. I'm like, well, it's right there. It wasn't until
like after he said, please keep your food down till after church. I was like, oh.
And basically, when she swallowed the fucking pearl in that scene. Which was
symbolic.
It's basically real. He just shot a load in her mouth right there, and she has to take it because she's the bitch. That's what happens. All the way from the little things, like where they have to sit on a fucking scale just to come into that. They say it in the movie.
No, they say it. It's like you have to eat a certain amount of food. I thought it was you weigh too much. In fact, it was you weigh too little. But I don't know these traditions. So
I don't know them either. I learned this from the movie.
Okay, well, the only thing I was able to pick up was apparently they have to eat like 3 pounds of fucking food due to tradition.
Well, and that...
Which at any point she could just say, fuck you, I'm not doing that. And there's nothing they could do.
Well, but see, this is the thing. And this is the problem. You are focused too much on the fucking classism of it and not actually getting the actual...
I don't want my son to go shooting birds.
And not actually
then don't fucking let him.
How is she not going to let him?
Come, boy, we're leaving.
But that's not how it works. Like, just for her to even go outside, she had to basically beg a police officer or security
guard. She had to more than beg. Yeah. She had to be like, please, for the love of God, don't tell anybody, which they told people anyway.
Right, anyway.
Yeah.
And that's throughout the movie.
They're doing their fucking job.
Anytime she tries to hide from somebody for a second, it gets reported on. Or people are saying that she's a lunatic behind her back, and that's getting reported to her husband, who
she was acting like a fucking lunatic. She was acting irrational.
But of course she would be, what she's been put through.
I know, having to drive up to the house all alone.
No, she did that on her own. She chose it.
I know, she did chose it. She got lost, which I thought was pretty funny. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, I couldn't get over. It's like, she's insane. It really she needs mental health treatment.
It really like I get it now, because I get why you didn't like it, because you didn't invest in it at all.
I'm not saying the movie's bad. I'm just saying for me.
I'm just saying I understand why you didn't like it, because you didn't invest in it beyond the money part. Oh, she's a rich bitch, so she can't complain. People.
No, I'm saying you could put up with shit for 2 days. If you
sometimes you can't put up shit for 2 days.
Well, then sometimes you need to go and reevaluate your fucking life situation.
And guess what? And this is something.
I'm a royal,
and this is
and I didn't read the fine print when I signed up for this.
This is something that you actually don't know.
Yeah.
Is guess what? She did do that, and right after the events of that weekend, she got divorced from him.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
that is what the end of that. That is what the end of that movie is her leaving him with the kids.
Shit, I didn't know that.
That is what fucking happens right there.
That changes the whole context of the ending.
That's her building up to what she did.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you need to kind of know the subject matter, or you're.
I didn't need it. I got it.
You're going to really get more out of it.
I got it that she left him right then, and then sure enough, I read about it later. Yeah, she left right after Christmas. That's when they split.
Well, shit, that makes sense.
So the whole movie is her mental breakdown and build up to doing what she needed to do.
Yeah, because it completely recontextualizes the entire film by saying, due to the events of this, she broke up.
Well, but for him to do that would take away from the fantasy element that he set up with the opening text. To put some real shit there. It leaves it to you. It leaves it to your interpretation and you to spend the time if you really want to know to go find out.
I gotta do homework now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first movie I've had to do homework for.
I mean, yeah, same here, but it's still just
Mhm.
like.
And so with Kristen Stewart, the thing that I loved, okay, Kristen Stewart she
here we
is
go.
apparently, I have read, and I have not watched a lot of her like foreign films.
Those legs, I don't know if okay. When she's walking into that diner like 5 minutes into the film, I don't know if they CG'd her legs or not, but I was like, God damn, those fucking legs are, get a happen to be a lady. So I guess, yeah, I should have seen it coming. I'm like, shit, she's thin.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But apparently she's good at doing accents. That's what I've read. I don't know because I stopped watching her stuff, and she did a lot of those.
The last thing I saw was Twilight.
Yeah. So in this movie, she is really good at doing the accent.
Yes.
And you told me you hated the way she acted. I thought
it's not her fault. In this case, I wouldn't say it's like, oh, she's doing a bad job. I'm just saying she's like emotionally, she starts the film exasperated. Like she's already at like a 9. So there's no like range for her to kind of go in terms of showing her happy or sad. She just feels exhausted and like, gosh, I can't believe I'm having to do this. It's that mood though the whole film,
but it's not.
It felt like it though.
It's not.
Felt like she's
and in fact, I find out
single mood the whole film.
I find out that what I think is just about the best scene in the movie. Zach went to pee.
I went to pee. I went to pee before the fucking trailer started. The movie starts. I'm like, God damn it, I gotta pee again. And the scene I walk out on is apparently the scene everybody's like.
Oh, somebody else has said that to you, that was a good scene?
Yeah, like apparently the whole scene where they play a game by firelight, which is I think what the scene, it was all improv.
Well, oh my God.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. That makes it even more
Which I walked
impactful.
out on. I came back in, they were like, here's a bear or a lobster or whatever the fuck it was.
So
it's like, okay.
That's amazing, because what really got me and to realize how good she is. I mean, she was good, but in that scene, she's doing her accent. She's been playing someone who's emotionally distraught, maybe a little disturbed, whatever. But in those scenes when she's with her kids, she becomes a normal person. So she's playing a normal person version of herself.
Motherfucker, that would be the one fucking scene I walk out on.
And not only is she playing a normal person and herself, she starts pretending to be like an army man. So all these layers happen with these kids, and it's like this beautiful moment, and you're like, this is what she wants. This is who she wants to be. And she doesn't get to do that fully again till the end of the movie.
God damn it.
Yeah, I was like, fuck me. That moment was when I'm like, yeah, Oscar hype. I understand, because fuck me, that was beautiful. It was a beautiful scene.
The one scene I walk out on.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. I mean, because that kind of shatters my argument of like, it sounds like, well, I mean, for the rest of the film, she sounds exasperated.
Well, because she is. That's the life she lives. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be some peaks and valleys to your performance. Otherwise, it's very...
There were, though. You missed it.
I know.
You missed it.
That really hurts.
And then there's other little beats of that with the kids, but not like that immense scene that's right there. It's just, that's so good. It's maybe the best scene in a movie I've seen this year. It's just so good. I walked out of that movie exhilarated because I expected to hate it and be bored. And I was like, fucking hell. The cinematography was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. It was really beautiful.
The music I didn't like, but it was fitting.
Oh, yeah.
The more like chaotic jazz music, the more chaotic it was, the more it kind of fit her mind. Mm-hmm. The almost horror elements psychologically that I didn't see coming, and a performance from her that like just like blew me away. I'm like, fuck me, this is a good fucking movie.
It just didn't work for me.
I could maybe push the number, and I like surrealism and I like a metaphor, but I like it scratching the back of my brain. I don't like it too much in my face.
Well, I mean, we went and saw Possession last week, and yeah, there's definitely metaphor,
but it's kicking you in the balls for the majority of the movie, like literally.
I mean, yeah, but I'm able to get more out of that than I was
because it's
Spencer.
Because it's kicking you in the balls.
Foundation of who this person is.
I mean,
I don't have anything. I have a lady who died. That's all I got.
I mean, that
later,
says a lot about you, because you don't have.
It turns out it's a lot about our education system, really.
Yeah, because you don't have to know much. You have to have a reasonable,
knowing that she has mental problems, knowing that she has health problems, knowing that their relationship was bad, knowing all this shit. It's like, knowing that going in and rewatching this, I'd be like, oh, well, now all of her shit makes sense.
And all of that stuff, because she's so iconic, is just common knowledge. I would wager you could talk to 9 out of 10 people and they're like, yeah, so what?
Okay. How about
so this is on you, sir.
How about people my age?
Yeah,
that's
people
what
your
I'm
age.
saying.
Yeah, no, people.
My age.
Yeah, people your age would still know because it's such common knowledge, and this is not
Nobody
the first.
They don't teach this shit in school.
Well, they don't need to teach this in school.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got to go to the fucking History Channel to get this shit.
No,
my bad.
No, it's just out there in media. It's in the zeitgeist. It's been around.
World War II's in the fucking zeitgeist, but they still teach that in school.
Well, and you could go and watch a movie about World War II and get enough of it to know what's happening. This is the same. This is just you, sir. I think this is a you situation.
I mean, it might just be just me. Everybody else seems to love this movie. I did not.
Like, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Did not.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
We both walked out going, yep, that was a movie. And it just didn't work for me.
Going back, I could almost up my score. It's the only movie I've seen in the last several months where I could actually almost up the score a little bit.
I mean, it's fascinating.
Like, the more I've settled on it, the more I like it even more.
Yeah. You know, you can have your gut reaction walking out, but, you know, it's kind of like food simmering. You go back and you're like, wait a minute, this is actually better than I remember. For me, it just did not. I was more interested in the cook. I was like, oh shit, what they cooking?
You dumbass.
And because he's a better actor, but
I don't think so.
I mean, he's pretty good in Mission Impossible.
I mean, no, he was good. He was good. He just didn't have as much to do. He had a certain job.
That's why I was asking for more of the cook.
And I liked the guy who was
the military guy that kept things on schedule.
Yeah, because
Timothy Spall.
Yeah, he came off a certain way, and it's only really kind of right at the end of the movie that you understand he was there for her the whole time, doing the best he could without, just like her, without getting in trouble from the fucking queen of the country. They'll fucking get you beheaded.
Could the queen do that?
Well, symbolically.
No, I'm just curious. Could the queen do that?
Not now, I don't think. Okay. I think it would take a lot for her to do
back
that.
what was this made? When is this set? 89?
Yeah, late 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I know is it was like, what, 96, 97 she died?
Something like that.
You got to think.
I don't even know.
I'm like 5 years old. I'm 6 years old.
I know, but it's still, it's not something that's gone away. Like, CNN has a documentary series going about her right now that they're doing.
CNN.
But I'm just saying that's how much in the zeitgeist she still is. That they're making current.
Oh yeah, she's very much.
She's
everybody
never
apparently loved her.
Yeah, she's never gone anywhere. So these basic bullet points, most people know.
I'm sorry, I missed the fucking boat on them, but still.
Now that I think
it hurts.
I think really knowing that was the last weekend of her relationship, I think you should watch it again now that you understand that.
I mean, maybe I do need. Maybe it is right, and I need to rewatch it again. But
I mean, me and you have disagreed on stuff before.
Yes.
And that's fine. That's
this
part
is
of
cool because I'm just like, it did not work for me.
But it's like my mind is boggled because usually with more art housey type of stuff, we don't disagree as often unless it's elitist bullshit.
This should have been in the fucking art house.
This should have been in the Belcourt. Yeah, it should have been in our art house theater.
Felt out of place at an AMC.
And you know what's really funny is I understand, and if I start having some quibbles with it, that I understand the look of the movie, the color. I understand it was supposed to be muted and brown.
It almost gives a cold feeling to it, yeah.
But I kept thinking, I fucking wish somebody would color grade this movie because it's just me. I like a lot of saturation. I like contrast, and this was kind of washed out looking.
I mean, I get the washed out though.
I get it.
Yeah,
I just didn't like it.
I do like how it's, they talk about, oh, it's so cold in here. It's like, well, then fucking turn on the heat yourself. God damn.
That's part of the metaphor, though.
What? It's shit like that I just get frustrated at. I'm just like, turn on the fucking heat.
But you can't just turn on the heat.
Fuck you, turn on the heat.
This is a monarchy. You can't just turn on the heat.
Okay, go to the queen and say, hey, turn on the fucking heat.
And the queen's response is, this is how it's been done for 100 years, and this is how we're going to do it this weekend.
Then and then you kick her in the cunt and you say, fucking turn on the heat, bitch.
Let's see, this is the point of the movie. It's like,
I'm cold.
That heat thing,
I was letting in the sunlight from my windows.
And the line that most annoyed you was like very pleasing line to me. Like you're at the end and they're like kids. You're like when you message me, you're like, I'm cold, but I'm putting the top down on my car when we drive.
What the fuck is that? Like she complains, oh my god, it's so cold. Hold on, let me pop the top on my fucking Porsche convertible.
When she's leaving her husband, she's leaving the royal family, and she's leaving the rules behind, she turns the fucking heat up and puts the windows down because fuck you. That's what that's about, because fuck you.
I just look at that and I go, you're mentally ill.
No, that's because fuck you. That's what that is. It is. It's like,
her
fuck
kids
you.
are freezing. Well, fuck your kids. I mean, fuck my kids, I guess.
No. She turned the heat up. They're fine.
The roof isn't on.
It's part of the point. It's the metaphor.
Insanity.
No.
Please have sympathy for this insane character.
It's insanity on the surface level, but you got to look at it as a metaphor because that's what the whole movie is.
Okay, well then, without metaphor, this movie utterly fails in making their main character likable.
It would.
Yes.
Yeah, but the whole movie is about metaphor, just like the other movie you referenced, Possession.
Yeah, Possession works on a surface level as well as a metaphorical level.
No, I think if you take the metaphor out of Possession, it'd be a fucking mess.
It's still a fucking trip, though, man.
Well, yeah, it's a trip because it's like
but
a fucking divorce crossed with Hellraiser.
Yeah, but his depth, you can see his depth into insanity to where when finally at the end where he snaps, you go, yeah, because he's been dealing with this shit for months. And when he snaps, he fucking goes.
Yeah. I love that movie too.
Even without the metaphor, you go, yeah, he's just at the end of this rope.
I love that movie too, but I also like my metaphor a little more subtle.
Okay. Okay.
It's beautiful.
I told you this was good.
Beautiful. All right. So let's talk about something we're probably a little closer.
We saw a lot of movies in the past week, by the way.
Yeah, we'll probably wait. Let me pull.
I mean, between us, we've seen like what, 6 or 7,
something like that. I saw Eternals, Venom, and Spencer, and then we saw French Dispatch. So I saw 4 films.
And Possession. It's been a week.
Yeah, so 5 films.
And then I went and saw French Dispatch, Spencer, and The Rescue, which was a documentary.
Yeah, we didn't get into The Rescue yet.
Yeah, so it's a documentary by the same people that did Free Solo about the Thai kids that got stuck in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about, getting them out.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay.
That's the thing. So did that movie, it used a lot of, I guess, like stock footage?
So there was a lot of we're going out to a cave because there was no footage of them actually diving through the muck. So they don't show it through the muck because obviously you wouldn't be able to see it. So we're just going to have footage of them cave diving, and you're kind of putting what they're talking about in mind as they go through it.
See, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. So I like what they did with some CG was it's like, here's the layout of the cave and here's where all these points were as we tried to find them. And it really hammered home something that I didn't know, which was, so yeah, there was water in the cave.
Yeah.
It was rushing fucking water, like a struggle to go through it. Like they would rip your mask off.
Oh shit!
Of fast water. So it wasn't just that it was filled. It was like getting to them was a struggle, finding them, and then people are like, oh my gosh, they've been in that cave so long. It's like, yeah. What about their oxygen level?
Yeah.
You didn't think about that, did you? Oh, geez.
So I started laughing because I was thinking about what you said to me when you came out of it. You were like, yeah, people behind me were sniffling, but I was like, meh.
Yeah, for some reason. Everybody
obviously
just got a little sniffly at the end. And I'm like, I know it's cold outside and I know COVID's a thing, but we're not tearing up at this, right?
We're tearing up, baby.
I don't know if they were tearing up, but people were like that. And
then they probably were.
If they were crying, I'm like, man, I missed the boat on this one. I know I'm dead inside, but usually you see the point where it's like, yeah, people are going to cry at this. I didn't see that. Like at the end of Toy Story 3, I'm like, yeah, people are going to cry at this. Yeah. It doesn't affect me, but I can see how people are going to cry.
Because you're broken.
This, I go, what are y'all crying at, boys? They got him out. Like, duh.
Makes me curious to see it.
I would say, if you're gonna watch it, sure.
I'll probably watch it streaming on Hulu because it's gone now from the theater.
Subtitles are so small.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The subtitles are small, and I don't complain about this. They're not small for me, but I looked at them and went, "Those need to be bigger. Those need to be bigger, guys.
That sucks.
It needs to be at least 30-point font or something, because you have them at like 18.
That sucks."
And
that means if I pull it up on Hulu and it's like that, I'll probably just not watch it.
I'd say at least 40% of it is subbed.
Yeah.
Or 35% of it is subbed. So if you can't read it, it's not going to be
better. You mean like certain scenes in The French Dispatch?
Yeah, so The French Dispatch, that's a much better film. We should talk about that.
So what's The French Dispatch about again?
So The French Dispatch is the newest film by Wes Anderson. Basically, it's constructed of 3 different stories, an overarching story, kind of like an anthology, one would say. About journalism of this newspaper in their final issue.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's like Spencer. It's like fantastical interpretations of what might have been in that newspaper or magazine. I guess it was kind of something
100-page.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I guess you'd say.
And it has a killer cast.
Unbelievable cast.
Should pull a cast up.
Bill Murray. Wow.
What's his
Owen
name?
Wilson, Jason Schwartzman, Tilda Swinton, Benicio del Toro.
It's like a killer cast, but most of them are
Jeffrey Wright.
A lot of them are his standards.
Timothy Chalamet.
Like I feel like Owen Wilson is in everything that he does,
except not everything, but
he's in a lot though.
Yes. Bill Murray's in a lot.
Bill Murray's in a ton.
Tilda Swinton is in a lot.
And then what's her name is naked again.
Yeah, Leah Sado.
Leah Sado. I mean, she's like, I feel like she's
if
like
you've
naked.
Seen blue is the warmest color. Well, there you go.
There you go.
You can see
plenty of
pretty much everything.
Pretty much all Leah Sado has to offer.
Which, by the way,
physically, now acting wise, she's actually really good.
I dug it.
What?
I mean, she's hot.
Yeah, she's very attractive.
She got nice boobies.
She's very attractive. Everything about her is very attractive.
I mean, she's hot. I mean, not James Bond level hot. Like where James Bond would leave MI6 for her hot. I mean, they wouldn't make a movie that dumb.
No,
James Bond would not. I mean,
they would never.
Let's be real. Vesper Lind.
Yeah,
James Bond would leave MI6 for that.
Yeah.
Lisa though.
Not happening.
Not happening. I mean, that would be a really dumb decision to make. Anyway,
it would be a really dumb decision to make. I agree with you.
Like you were saying.
Just saying.
So this is essentially 4 different stories of varying quality.
Yeah, I felt like my initial reaction was it was one story too long for me.
It feels like instead of, or
each story needed to be a little shorter
and add another one.
Because by the time the last story started, I'm like, oh, we're doing another one.
Yeah, it felt like it's only an hour and 48 minutes. It felt like
longer.
2.5.
It did.
It really did. And by the way, why is it the deal with every movie being 2.5 hours long recently?
It seems like a thing.
I mean, damn. But
I mean, I'd rather them go that way than go too short and going to see like a 65-minute movie. That would suck.
I don't know if the film is as long as it needs to be. It's as long as it needs to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt like each story was just like a tad too long. And that's not to say, I didn't enjoy them. I did, but it's just still like, I don't know where to cut. But we need to rewrite these, I guess.
Yeah, it just felt a little too long. Now, see, here's the thing about his movies, though, and they've gotten this way more so over the years.
Nobody acts like an actual human being.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, in a way, okay with that, and in a way, not okay with it.
Well, it's his style. Like, everybody is kind of monotone, and it didn't used to be that way. Like, if you look at his early, even all the way back to, like, Life Aquatic. Life Aquatic was a weird movie, but people were acting, and it feels like this is the most, like...
people thought the Grand Budapest Hotel was the most Wes Anderson movie that Wes Anderson.
Oh, no.
No.
This is it.
This is currently the new most Wes Anderson film that Wes Anderson has ever Wes Anderson.
Everybody's monotone. It feels very, very, very staged. Like every position of every character. It's almost like, I don't know how people, I guess people really like acting for him because he gets like the same actors over and over again, a lot of stuff. But to me, it feels like it would be really limiting because everything is very aggressively choreographed and staged, and that ends up making for some stunning camera movements. I mean, there's some times in this, we talked about this, that it's like that camera moves through a space and then the doors slide open and other characters are in just the right spot at the right time. It's like that camera is just like floating around like another human being in the
But
existing.
it's locked down on this like dolly that's 400 feet long, and you're just going, holy shit.
It just keeps
Is this
moving.
a single take or is this digitally stitched? I can't tell. You said you could tell during
There was one or two
sequence.
times you could kind of tell, but not
I mean, I'm like,
clear.
holy fuck, how is he pulling this off? And the amount of sets and every, like you said, everything is meticulously to the inch put together. I mean, sometimes a person's head will appear at the very bottom left corner of the frame. And I'm like, number one, that plays on a big screen only. And number two, that would not play on a TV at all.
Yeah, this entire movie will not play the same at home. Because visually, you're not going to be as impacted by it. So you're going to pay more attention to the fact that it's 4 separate stories and some of them are not as good as other ones of them. And speaking of which, the one with Leah Sado naked is probably one of my favorite ones. The prison one.
What would you say is your least favorite?
Oh, that's easy and it's not fair. It's the situation specific to me is I did not like the what's her name?
The school one or the...
Yeah, because there was a shit ton of subs in that one.
Yeah.
And the thing that he chooses to do, and it's an artistic choice, is he picks a hard to read font and he moves it around the screen a lot. Like the subs, when they were in the
Yeah,
upper,
they're never in the bottom. It's like if somebody's talking, it might be directly next to their head, or it might be above a poster that they're talking about.
So when they put those subs in the upper right corner of the screen, which he did a lot, I was like, well, fuck you. I don't know what's happening because I can't fucking read it.
I mean, we sat in the second row so you could read the fucking subs.
And I still couldn't fucking read them a lot of times. That one, and there's moments in that one that I think are really funny. Toward the end of that one in particular, the whole like virgin line or whatever.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, well, we've been spoiling the whole time.
Spoilers for the French Dispatch. Please go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it's oh, I'm a virgin. Oh, I am too. Well, except for her. And she's like, I knew it.
Yeah, I knew it. That's Frances McDormand. That's the name I was forgetting. And she's so good. I love her and stuff so much. But I think the times that I liked the sort of acting style that he chooses, that I liked it the best was in the actual scenes inside the French Dispatch.
Yes, I needed more. Shit, what's her name? Like she only gets like 4 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, what are you talking about from Handmaid's Tale?
Yes,
she's so good, and it's Angela Moss.
Or no, not Angela.
Something Moss.
Emily Moss. Or
her last name's
something.
Moss.
Yeah, something Moss.
Her.
She is so good in this. She gets
actually,
like 3 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, she like her and Bill Murray nail the style the best.
It's kind of like
they have the least to do in the movie.
If this means that she's in more Wes Anderson, and this was kind of like, how we do with 48 Hour, you're new,
like
so I'm going to
testing the new actor.
Yeah, if this is the case, then woohoo, I can't wait to see where this goes. But damn, it feels like, I needed more of that character. I wanted to see her really pick apart and do grammatical shit, which she was set up to do, which she doesn't do.
She's do.
Like, oh, it's got, 4 misspellings in the first sentence. And that's as far as it goes.
It's kind of crazy that I guess she just wanted to be a part of it because she's an A-list actor now, taking a tiny little role that literally had almost nothing to do. But boy, I guess she made impact because you and I both, she stuck out to both of us. Elizabeth Moss, that's it. Because she stuck out to both of us and she was so good. Owen Wilson is fine. He's good in...
He gets way more screen time than Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Damn shame.
He knows how to act in these movies by now. He's been in so many.
She is not in his next film. God damn it.
That's a shame because she was one of the best parts of this movie. So here's the thing. I think we made jokes coming out of it that we needed to put on our beret.
And French baguette.
And French baguette. Because going into this movie, it can be a positive or a negative depending on who you are. It is some highbrow, elitist, art house filmmaking, and if you like that, then great. If you don't like it, don't see it. I'm on the fence.
If you like other Wes Anderson films,
you'll like this one.
this. However, if you're like, Wes Anderson is really not my thing,
this is not going to change your mind.
You need to fucking avoid this.
Yeah. I mean, because here's the thing about me. I like Wes Anderson films, but this made me really start to think, what do I like? I liked Grand Budapest Hotel well enough. It's not on my shelf. Rushmore is on my shelf. I like that one.
Well, it's because a 4K is like, well, they
imminent.
mastered it in 2.
Yeah.
I remember that being like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I tend to like Royal Tenenbaums is my favorite. And Royal Tenenbaums, to me, is in that space where he was turning into the director that he is now, but still trying to tell a consistent story. This movie, to me, doesn't tell a consistent story. These are 3 vignettes loosely tied together.
Well, I guess the whole underlying theme, I guess, is, reporting and writing and journalism is hard work.
Oh, wait. Is it like metaphor?
Well, no. I'm saying that's the underlying theme of the whole, what ties these together. Because we were walking out going, so what was the point of this today?
Yeah.
I guess the only thing I can put together is journalism is hard work. However, that really didn't come across very well. I mean, it showed in the second one with
because it was so buried in the fantasy.
Yeah, with Frances McDormand trying to maintain journalistic neutrality with everything, which she doesn't. But the other ones, the issue was, I have a story to tell, and I'm giving a presentation, and that's kind of it.
Which one did you like the best?
Damn.
I like the prison one the best. Something about that one just appealed to me.
That one didn't for me. But that's okay. I'm not like, it was worst. I'm like, it didn't work for me. I like the college one because I was like, yeah, I remember being an idiot like that.
Well, I think I could. I feel like what I did get from that one, I probably could have liked it had the subtitles been more approachable.
But the food one I really liked because I was really hungry. And,
my God. I liked
they showed
that one.
the food and I'm like, like they're talking about something on the right hand of the screen. It was maybe in subs, I don't remember. I just remember hearing
looking at the food.
Wah, wah, as my stomach goes, oh my God, look at that food. I'm so hungry right now. Wouldn't you? I don't even like liver. I would eat that so badly right now. Like, and kudos to the film to make me just completely zone out and be like, that food. Oh, baby.
Yeah, I liked that one pretty good. I do feel like that one was a little long. Like, I felt long on that one, but I liked it generally.
The whole kidnapping subplot is kind of like, to me. Yeah. I liked more of the character and his reporting of like the whole experience of it could have been him and his friends to have
what's that actor's name?
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright.
His voice.
Jeffrey Wright needs to be like, I know he's been around longer than this, but I didn't notice Jeffrey Wright until he was so good in Westworld season 1. And then I'm like, shit, he's good in everything.
Yes.
Then from that point forward, everything I saw him in, I'm like, I get it. This guy's fucking great. And he's great in this movie too. I love the like soft focusy, like 1970s looking talk show shit that he was doing. I don't know. That stuff was really good too.
Yes. I mean, my least favorite would probably be the painter one.
And see, I kind of like that one.
It didn't really resonate with me.
Yeah.
I get it though. Like when he looks at the wall and like he can see, he gets that eye. And I'm like, oh, I know that feeling. I know it.
Well, I guess that's why I connected with it because I could sort of see through him a little bit.
It was kind of asshole-ish for him to do what he did.
It was a lot asshole.
I was like, wow, fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck you. And, the whole conclusion of, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to go and do this. It's like,
yeah.
Okay. Asshole.
Yep. No, I agree.
He sawed the guy's head off.
Yeah.
For no reason. Or because he was yelling or having an argument. It's like, okay, asshole.
So,
I mean, Leah Sado did a great job.
She did. And I think...
Because I like her character, too. She has a lot more depth.
Well, that's it. That's one of the things I liked about that one is her character in that one. Not just the fact that she was like, completely naked.
She was an enigma of a character that had, like, some issues to work
and
out.
And the thing is she acted it really well.
Yes.
And she's not someone I paid much attention to before this. other than having seen clips of her naked and other things.
I mean, we just went and saw Dune where Timothy Chalamet was wooden as shit in
fucking awful.
And in this, I'm like, shit. Is it just the writing, or is it the direction?
It could be like the Phantom Menace syndrome.
Yeah, because I was like, he is great in this. Mm-hmm. I mean, who's bad in this, really?
There's no one's bad in it.
I mean, to me,
no one's bad.
Owen Wilson felt on autopilot.
If you sell yourself into the style of acting that's here, now it's purposefully wooden. It's purposefully in your face, kind of like, I feel like people look at the camera a lot and stuff. And if you don't like that, you're going to think everybody's terrible, except maybe Elizabeth Moss, because she rises above that.
Yeah. I mean, Willem Dafoe is in here and he doesn't get anything.
Yeah, it's like,
why even have?
What's the
friends? Fuck? I mean, he was in Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
He was in Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been in other.
He's been in other stuff. Yeah. But if you get sold on that type of acting, everyone's good. There's nobody bad in it.
I mean,
Owen Wilson, it might be on autopilot, but this is his jam. I mean, he's done this so long.
He wasn't on autopilot in Grand Budapest, though. He felt like he was doing a character.
Yeah.
He wasn't being Owen Wilson.
Well, he didn't have as much to do in this one either.
He didn't have anything to do in Grand Budapest, but say a couple lines. So I'm like, oh, he's acting. Whereas in this, I'm like, no, he's Owen Wilsoning it again. Wow.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really, but I guess I didn't pay that much attention to his character. I see him in.
I can only compare him to his previous stuff, like in Royal Tenenbaums, where he's acting in that, and it really feels like he's trying something different. In this, it just felt like, oh yeah, I remember Marley and Me.
Okay, fair enough.
Pretty much the same character.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, I wasn't affected by him one way or the other.
He does not say wow, though.
He does not say that. No, he does not.
The moment he does in a Wes Anderson film is the day the internet is going to just break a party. Mm-hmm. But no, I did like The French Dispatch quite a lot.
I liked it. I did like it.
2 years for it almost.
I don't know. I enjoyed the experience, especially seeing it in the theater, because it's a visual feast.
Well, I mean, Wes Anderson is a motherfucker that's like, I'm going to shoot this in 1:33, except for this one shot.
Yeah.
That I'm going to do in 2:35:1 because fuck you, I need this all in the frame.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to have it in color. The rest of it, though, black
and white, because fuck you. Yeah.
Because fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's my beret?
Exactly.
Like,
but I've been thinking about this. I really enjoyed the experience, and I'm glad I saw it in the theater. Am I going to revisit it at home that much? No, I don't even know. I probably don't even know if I'll own it, honestly.
I mean, what's interesting is that it essentially came out a week and a half ago, and Blu-ray comes out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's already announced, and anybody who buys it's an idiot, because you're going to get that Criterion later.
There's no bonus footage outside of a trailer, and then it's like, why would you buy this knowing there's a Criterion?
It's a Wes Anderson movie. There's going to be a Criterion. Yeah. But yeah, I don't need to own it.
This is a 4K master, so at least they're finally doing 4K.
It could be masters. A 4K, it could be a Criterion 4K.
Boy, let me tell you, if that's a 4K Criterion, I'd pick that up. That would be probably my first 4K Criterion right there.
I might have to think about it. My first 4K Criterion is going to be...
Assuming that everything else 4K they announce is not interested. If this came out...
I'm picking up Uncut Gems.
Oh shit, that's right.
Mm-hmm. It's out the end of this month.
Okay, well, never fucking mind then.
Yeah.
That's going to be mine.
We're going to be having that.
Yeah.
All right, so what number score did you give this movie?
I'm at Dispatch. An 8.
Okay. I'm at like a 7. Okay. And it's mostly because of that one sequence, or that one installment that I couldn't fucking tell what was going on. Most of it.
In another week, this might, the score might change, or the next time I see it, it might change, up or down. But right now, I'm like, I still like walked out and was like, that was lovely.
Yeah, I almost have two separate scores. Seeing it in the theater, to me, and seeing his movies the way he does them now, it's almost like going to an art gallery.
Yes,
because those visuals were beautiful.
Oh, you could take stills from this movie, like just.
But they won't be the same anywhere else as they were in the theater. The theater experience of seeing the majority of that movie is probably an 8 or a 9. maybe even a 9, because it's just so uniquely him. It doesn't look like anybody else. It's him. But taken as a movie with plot and story,
that's the other
it's
thing.
like it's more like a 7.
That's why I say it's like you almost need to see this at home so you can remove yourself from that
the experience
theatrical
of it.
and just look at it on a storytelling basis.
Well, and that would be the thing. If they do put out a nice 4K, that might be. I might eat my own hat. I might end up picking it up just so I can.
Do I need to make you a cake hat?
You might have if they put a 4K out. You might have to make a hat cake. You might have to.
That's the way I always like to say, man, I'm gonna have to eat my hat. Or it's like, okay, well, I'll just make a cake of a hat and be like,
exactly.
There you go, boy.
or if Criterion gets wise and does something good,
do a box
and
set
does a box set
of
all of them, then I would end up buying it.
That would be a buy. It would be expensive and hurt, but I would. That
would be a $200 box set, but I would do it. I mean, I've got the Nolan set, and I have no regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. All right, boys, let's bring this thing to an end. We've been going.
Man, we could talk.
We've been going for a while. Yeah, well, we're talking about movies, and the sad thing is I know that the rest of our show is not as caught up movie wise as we are.
Damn, that's a shame. Yeah. Anyway,
all right, where are we gonna find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram. I'm Master of the Mix 91. You can also find me on Steam as well as Discord as a Dangerous Mute Lunatic. I'm not playing Celeste tonight. I'm not having that mental breakdown.
Oh, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to say you're not going to do it, and then I'm going to get a message later. I just died 25 more times.
25? Only 25?
Only 25.
Dude, each level is like 200 to 300 deaths.
I know, but you're going to message me before you get there. That's what's going to happen.
No, if I'm going to play Celeste, I'm going to play the ending, and it's probably going to take 2 hours, and I'm not going to fucking do that tonight. But anyway, I've been playing Celeste. I've also been playing Bigfoot, which is a video game with friends. Where it's you and 3 or 4 other people in a camper, and you're hunting down Bigfoot. And boy, that game is fucking hard, but it's fun.
I'm gonna have to buy a PC at some point.
There's a footprint. Take a picture of the footprint. Evidence found. Oh shit! Here comes Bigfoot. Shoot him! And it's like your gun does like 3 points of damage. He has 1,000 points of damage, by the way.
Oh.
You have 20 bullets.
Oh, then you're doomed.
Yeah, this game is hard.
Then I guess you got to run.
Yeah, he's gonna beat your ass because you're like it's okay. We'll hide in the camper. He can reach through the windows and beat your ass. That's a shame. There's only 4 health packs in the game.
Well, that's 1 apiece.
If you get knocked down, you need a health pack to get back up.
Yeah. Then you're fucked.
It's a hard game. Okay. Anyway, we're researching that now that we've been getting our ass beat, and we're like, all right, let's research this, boys, and try and get a strategy going here.
All right. Well, you can still find me playing Dead by Daylight. I'm still playing. They got a new killer coming. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Artist killer.
Yeah, I noticed. I played the other night with Nathan from the show, and it looked like the opening credits have changed again.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like it looks like the K-pop killer still, but this is like the opening credits look different to me.
Like an anime?
More anime-ish than even they did when they first announced him.
All right, well, it's not the new killer then, but
no, it's not the new killer. He's because the guy that's killing in the intro was throwing knives, just like the K-pop killer.
Oh, it's that boy.
Yeah. So anyway. Find me there. You can just look up CultureSmash. You'll find me on the Xbox. Off the Shelf Movie Night on YouTube and CultureSmash on Facebook. Anything else?
Everyone else is gone, so I guess not.
Yep, that's it. We'll see you next week.